Ladies and gentlemen, before we start episode 35 of the Yin and The Yang podcast, on behalf of the entire staff here at the More of the Same Network and on behalf of the entire crew here at the Yin and The Yang podcast, we'd like to take a moment at this time to remember those who have served and have given their lives for the United States of America. We thank you, we love you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, hello again, fans. Once again, welcome once again to the record-breaking, trend-setting, commando casting, militant casting podcast known worldwide as the Yin and The Yang. This show is powered by the More of the Same Network in association with Anti-USW Productions. I am still the former two-time USW heavyweight champion of the world and lifelong martial artist, Anthony Chu, a.k.a. Chuzilla, the ultimate thriller. All muscle, no filler, baby. And on today, the show that we have for you, fans have answered the call to action. I am so happy. I'm in a hell of a better mood than I was last week, and they shall be rewarded because today, with the exception of Chewed Out, it will be the fans will be in control. They will dictate the pace of this podcast. Episode 35 is a show for the people, as it has been since day one. We will take fan questions throughout the show, and that in itself, ladies and gentlemen, will be a show for you, the people. We introduce to you a new segment known as being Chew KO'd. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce the co-navigator that's in the house. Are you ready, fans? Here we go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is the high-rolling, money-holding. Leave him at Game On and he's golden. He and also the podcast promoting owner, guru, king of the More of the Same Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you. Stiff upper lip. He is Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back on the scene, and Larry is the master Mormon.
I love these introductions. These introductions remind me every week why I hired you and why we do what we do.
Larry, you tell me, in any podcast in the podcasting world, whether it be Cornette's, Jericho's, whether it be Bruce Pritchard's, whether it be anybody, even Kevin Smith, your hero, there is not one podcast that introduces their co-host, not host, their co-host, the way that I introduce you.
You like to throw that term co-host around. I get it. I know I wrote that into the contract. I know I gave you full creative control. I Vince Russo'd myself into this by giving you creative control.
Wow. Did you really have to drop that name? He's a disgrace to New Yorkers. No wonder the Southern boys hate us so much.
Listen, bro. All right, bro?
Oh, God. Oh,
what it's all about, bro.
Oh, God. I hate using that term now because of that prick.
But no, it's great to be back here on the Yin and The Yang podcast, the mothership of the More of the Same Network, contractually obligated to say that. And I'm looking forward to this episode. It's going to be fun to I like to give back to the people. I give back to the people often.
Yeah, that's not what you – do you still have that hobo – speaking of giving back, do you still have that hobo guy in your manor right now? Yeah.
No, Kenny, I was able in the middle of the night, myself and Jeremiah with a couple of push brooms, just kind of whisked him right out the back door. He's probably out somewhere. You know what? right out that back door is the pool. Hey, Jeremiah, did we pull the cap off the pool yet?
Oh no, this ain't gonna be good.
We did. You may want to order new pool skimmers. Yeah. So you want to get on that? Thank you.
All right.
In one way, shape, or form, we're not gonna have to worry about Kenny anymore.
Poor Kenny. Leave the man alone. You know, he was a nice kid.
I left him alone. He's doing amazing. He's doing his backstroke. He's been doing it for about 6 hours now.
You are the man that's probably not taking a shower in months, right?
I am going to get the kitchen fumigated now at this point.
Why is your hair wet? Can I ask you that? Did you just take a dip in the pool before you? Okay, listen, Larry, don't come by my house next week. I don't want to be surrounded by that shit. Okay, just don't come near the house. Get yourself fumigated, and then we'll talk. Okay?
Little pink eye never hurt anybody.
Oh my God! Listen, the Mormon Manor is in some shit, isn't it?
Because of you?
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Maybe.
What do you mean because of me? Are you going to restart? Are you going to rehash this?
No, I'm not.
Literally.
No.
It is because, listen, you run that place like a dictatorship. The interns, I'm surprised Jeremiah is still on the soundboard because I don't think he's a happy person. Winston left, by the way. I don't know where the hell he went. Ensign is still. Have you had an update on him?
They're still, the bones are still trying to set into themselves again.
Oh God!
Yeah, so it's
is he on rehab?
He's going to be on rehab for a while. He
Did
may
you actually,
need.
Did you pay for his hospital bills?
Well, I mean, they say he can use, like, he may be relegated to a wheelchair for the rest of his life.
No, don't say that.
Yeah,
Stop.
And you know,
Stop.
wheelchairs they run about $200 or $300. But I told him his arms still work good, so just a couple pair of crutches will do him just fine. I picked up a couple crutches at the Walmart for about $12, and it should do him just good.
Listen, I don't know what overcame Mr. Seagal. All I know is that, listen, man, he's not going to be in a wheelchair. Will you stop thinking that way?
No, he's not going to be in a wheelchair. He's going to be on his crutches for the rest of his life.
Okay. No, he's not going to be on his crutches. When Hogan got his leg broken by Hiro Matsuda, it took him 6 to 8 weeks to get better. All right?
And when Jimmy King broke his neck, it took him 2 weeks to come back, and he ruled ass on Sting.
You're comparing Hulk Hogan to Jimmy King? Really?
Jimmy King is the best.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
He's the best wrestler. The best wrestler.
Okay, well, stop. For God's sake. This is not karaoke night.
No, but it's about the people. What?
Since you like singing so much, it is about the people. Since you like singing so much, Larry, I will issue you a challenge, okay? I'm going to give you, since you like half years so much, 6 months, okay? Which means that by the end of the year, I actually was talking to Jeremiah about this, and I think that we found it pretty funny. And by the way, I finally met Thaddeus. Just wanted to let you know. He is a very antisocial human being. I don't like the guy from the very start, but he is a pretty good driver. I cannot lie. Well, anyway.
That's what I like. My drivers and my barbers to just be quiet and do their job.
No, now wait a minute. You can't have your barber just be quiet, man. I mean, you know, don't you think that going to a barbershop and talking to your barber is a good thing?
I do not want to talk to anybody.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's good. Well, then, Jeremiah, mute his mic. Let me do a solo show again.
No, this is not happening.
Yeah, you see? Code 72715 actually does work. Thanks, Jeremiah. Put his ass back on.
And then route it back. I told you to route it back. Listen, I got to change that code.
I love this. I love this job. This is awesome.
Let's get to the people.
Job that I actually, yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Now, by the way, so Jeremiah and I thought that it would be kind of funny. 6 months, and Jeremiah and I will put up $1,000 each if you can actually sing the entire song of Gundam Style.
What?
If you can do this, since you like singing so much, we came up with this idea after a production meeting. and which you, by the way, did not attend because instead you were playing golf with the chief of police, and still my restraining order is in effect, all right? Because I can't come to your township. I can't come near Mormon Manor within 100 feet. So you missed the production meeting, and we just thought it was really funny that, if you can sing the entire song from beginning to end in Korean, there's no doubt. What are you going to sing in the English translation? It doesn't sound right. So in Korean, if you can sing the entire song without we'll allow 2 mistakes. All right. If you can do the entire thing, both Jeremiah and I will put up $2,000.
Will you really?
Really, $2,000. If you can sing the entire song
in Korean.
In Korean.
Hey, listen.
I'll even help you out right now.
No, right? Don't worry about it. Because I know how to do it.
I'll give you some of the words.
No, I know the words. Opum Gangnam Style.
Oh, God.
Gangnam Style. Naijden Shaskuren Inkanguin Yo.
You're fucked up already.
People Hanuai.
No, stop, dude. Oh, God. You got 6 months. Let's just get to the people, please. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Amadeo. Sangoswayo. Gude no. Hey.
No, stop. Mute him, please. Oh, God. Oh, God. Stop, please. Enough is enough. This is fucking crazy. This is about as funny as when the other guy actually hosted episode 34. Please, just stop. Oh, Lord. Oh, man, that was the best form of entertainment I've gotten all week. So, listen, oh, Lord. How was your week, man, by the way? Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Jeremiah, you moron. Unmute him.
I have a light here.
What's wrong with this guy? Is this guy stupid or something? Is he on drugs back there?
When I rerouted the mute button last week, a little light goes on for me. So now that you've hacked into my system, and now that you have control, your boys have control. Hold on.
No, I did not hack. No, I did not hack into the system because I was given a piece of paper by one of your production guys. I don't know what. Again,
I thought
they
we were
are
friends
not happy
with North
with
Korea.
You. Huang is not here anymore.
That is true.
We don't have to deal with him.
But the little light was still on, so that's how I knew I was still.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was actually. I really want to unmute you for a little while, but I think Jeremiah was having a little too much fun back there, or he's high on something. I don't know what it is.
So what were you asking me?
Yes, I was asking you how was your week.
Oh, thanks for asking. My week was good. I got a nice wicked sunburn on Saturday, which hurt like hell. You ever get those sunburns that just has a scorching pain through your entire arm for like 2 days? That's what I got.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, so that burn.
So you're like the whitest white dude I've ever seen, and yet you have red on your forearms.
That's a reason why I don't go in the sun. And then my wisdom tooth started swelling up, so that was fun as well.
Oh, jeez, that's rough. Are you one of those people that have 2 or 4?
I still have all 4. And I should get them removed because they're all growing in sideways, but...
Yeah, I got 2, and I had them removed like about 15 years ago.
Yeah, I should have gotten them removed, but I didn't. So the pain while doing this episode is excruciating, but I will work my way through it.
And by the way, I've been getting a lot of feedback on the email, folks. If you want to email us, it's yinandyangpodcast@gmail.com. Anyway, see, I can do those plugs too, right? I've been noticing that there's been a lot of feedback within the email about this video that you put up on your Instagram of you shaving with a straight razor. You look like you just went through a wrestling match with Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah, I thought we talked about this.
Holy shit. No, we have not spoken about it because it was like about a week ago and you weren't here. I wonder why.
That's true.
Wink, wink. Right?
What
the hell?
Well, here's what it is. Obviously for the longest time, shaving with the cartridge blades. All right, they do the job and everything, but I watch a lot of because sometimes they're soothing to watch. Sometimes it kind of mellows you out. You learn some techniques and everything, but I switched from the multi-blades, because now they're like 2, 3, 4, 5 blades now. It's ridiculous.
Fucking now there's one that's like 6-bladed from some independent company. Fuck. Sooner or later, they're lucky this is not going to be a segment of Chewed Out. How many more fucking blades are you going to add to a cartridge? Sooner or later, we're going to be shaving with Venetian blinds.
And terrible. And I actually, the more blades, it's actually not good for you, because the way it kind of catches the skin and everything, and actually, it's not the best. So I switched to a safety razor, a double-edged safety razor, not a straight edge.
Okay.
But a safety razor. Single blade. And look, yes, gentlemen out there, I get it. Especially with single blade razors, there's a lot more prep time to go into with shaving. With a multi-cart, you can just pretty much wet it, shave it, you're good. But with these single blades, it doesn't have like the moisture strip. It doesn't have some of this other gliding. So there's prep. There's oil to put on. There's the shaving cream. There's the after. It's a project which I like. I like that it's what we do. It's what men do. Well, those who choose to shave.
Right.
So with the safety razor, beautiful. I love it. Actually, it was like a $15, like as seen on TV, from the guy from Porn Stars sells it. It's called the Micro Touch. I bought it in like a Rite Aid. But watching the videos of people getting a professional straight razor, that really intrigued me, like a good old-fashioned straight razor. And that's what I did. I bought a straight razor. It's a disposable straight razor, so I don't have the strop, because I don't have time to sit there, go back like 25 times, and then 50 times on the leather, and then like 10 times on whatever. So it's disposable. But it's a straight edge. It's a legit straight edge. And holy cow. I've been practicing with it. So, I do use it. I nick myself up. Funny thing is, I cut myself up more on the right side of my face than on the left side of my face. And that's what happened last time. You don't go fast with it. You really go slow with a straight edge. You take your time.
Right.
And I was shaving, and I'm coming across my chin, which is, got some meat to it, a little predominant there.
Okay.
And I was coming across, and it literally, like, got stuck in my skin. Like, it just stopped.
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, that was tough. So then I was bleeding, like, straight down the middle here.
Oh, fuck.
Then I went back, and I guess that threw me off or something, and I went to cut, to shave my chin, and literally a chunk comes off my cheek.
Oh, my God. Oh.
So yeah, it was a rough go, and it's funny too, because I bought like a stainless steel holder, which I wasn't crazy about. So I ordered a new one in the mail, and like that evening is when I shaved. I decided to cut myself up altogether. So I'm going back to the safety razor for now. I'll go back to the straight razor when I got time to learn, to hone my skills.
I tried a straight razor on my head one day, right? And I cut myself in the back of my head, and it still has like a scar, like a light scar in the back of my head. It wouldn't stop bleeding.
It takes time.
Because you can't see from the back, you know what I mean? And so even if you have a dual mirror, like front and back, it's still very hard to do. So I used to go to this one place called Bosphorus out in Brooklyn, New York, and I mean, they're Turkish barbers. They're very good at what they do. I mean, like, it is one of the most professional places. And the thing about it is that if you haven't, for those of you guys out there who shave their heads or their faces, if you haven't noticed that a lot of the American barbers don't do this, they're not taught that in school. A lot of the barbers who come from outside the United States know how to do this because it's part of their training when they were in barber school. I don't know why we don't teach that here. I think it's more of a safety issue. I'm not really sure. It's also a liability issue. But these guys are just so good. And the Turkish barbers I go to in Bosphorus, they were great, and they're still great. The only problem is, in the last year or two, their prices went from like $30 to $40 for a shave in the head and the face. And I mean, I generally give out a $5 tip. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think that it's just proper for me to give somewhere around 15% or more. I just feel like it's their living. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, $45 per go. I mean, if you had to do this every week or every 2 weeks, that's a lot of money. You know, when you conjure that out, I mean, that's almost $1,000 a year or more. Then in Edison, New Jersey, I found a hair salon when I first walked in, and they still have old school barbers who do the head and face shave. Brother, I want to give a shout out to my barber Manuel, who basically takes care of me A to the Z, right? $20.
There you go. Wow.
Half the price. I give the man a $5 tip, and he is just awesome. I mean, I get some Spanish lessons because he's Dominican, and the man knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for 45 years.
Wow.
And the guy's he's like 60-something years old. So he's been, cutting hair and using a razor since he was, 15? So the man knows what he's doing, and he is good at it.
Good. See that? I'm dying. I cannot wait to get I've never gotten a professional shave, so I'm really looking forward to that one day. To do
Dude,
that
I gotta
pro shave.
I gotta take you to the art of shaving one day.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I should get my boss something like that for his birthday.
Ah, well, good thing we have to wait a whole year. But what I would like to do is I would like to also recommend for those who do shave at home, after you shave, now it's going to happen to all of us. We get a little nick, sometime, maybe not as bad as what happened to me, but you get nicked, you get a little sensitive sometimes. I bought this product. I've seen it on YouTube, and I finally went out and I bought it. It's called an alum block. Specifically, it's called Gentleman John, Jon, alum block. And basically what it does is it stops razor burns. It stops a little bit of the nicks, the cuts. So it's a block. It's this block that you just wet and you just run all over your face. Now, yeah, it's going to sting when it crosses over those parts, but it seals up those nicks like that. And you get a really
Where'd you get
nice...
it from?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the stuff that you picked up during the chiller convention.
No, that was just the shaving cream, which I like.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
But this stuff, this alum block, really seals it up and it gives you a nice feel, like a nice, not an aftershave, but just something comfortable afterwards. So,
So is it like a bar of soap or something like that?
it looks like a clear bar of soap.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you just run it through your face.
You run it on water and just rub it all over your face. Just
Oh,
over.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's pretty cool.
Very
Alum
cool.
block. ALUM. Alum block.
Alum block. Okay.
Yep.
I will look it up because I got to check it out myself. Oh, and by the way, holy crap, how much time have we done? We got to get to a show here.
We do. We're at about 23 minutes, my friend.
For a second, I thought this was the better half. We're just shooting shit. Anyway, that's good. That's good. All right, so this is the way it's going to work, everybody. I want to address, before we do this, I want to say thank you to the fans. Finally, I am not unhappy like I was last week. It takes me a lot to get me upset. Wink, wink, right? But I did a call to action last week, and I wanted to see exactly what the fans would have thought, considering the idea that I did a call to action in the sense that, I want to find a new mattress. Because, I mean, as, any pro athlete would tell you, anybody who's active, anybody who does a lot takes a beating on their bodies, whether it be in the gym, whether it be in the ring, whether it be in anything that they do. You need proper rest. And I have a Tempur-Pedic Cloud Supreme, and I didn't get the proper rest that I deserve. So after, you're talking about 10-hour days in the grind. Then you got to go to the gym for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And, it just takes a lot. And at some point, by the way, Larry, by next month or two, I'm going to start working out 2 times a day.
Really?
So I'm going to be doing something called 2-a-days,
Okay.
So So working out 2 times a day, maybe like cardio in the morning and then weight training in the evening, you know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is that sleep is the one thing that's not a friend of mine. It's very difficult for me to get sleep because I think about a lot. It's hard for me to get some rest. And when I do, it's already time to get up. It's just one of those scenarios for me every night. So I did a call to action last episode, and I asked the fans, if you want to redeem yourselves, you know, and I've gotten an outpour of emails, messages, you know, people who are messaging the Yin and The Yang Facebook page, and they're giving me their feedback. And Larry, the people have spoken. And the mattress that they believe I should get is, you ready? Drum roll, please. We have a bird in here? Oh, okay. So, the bed that everybody suggests me to get is the Nectar mattress.
All right, Nectar.
Yeah. All right. So, a lot of people asked, and I did say to the fans, tell me, why do you think you selected this one? Now, I've gotten a lot of them. Lisa, Bear, Casper, Purple. There's so many different beds out there. Why Nectar? So this is what I was told. It has a 1 year sleep trial. You could literally buy this bed, right? If you buy the foundation and the mattress, they give you a discount on it, right?
Wow.
Which is great. On top of the $125 off and 2 free pillows that they're offering up till Memorial Day, meaning today, as we're recording, they also, if you accept the bed past that 1 year mark, you get a lifetime warranty.
Really?
Which means that if there's even a small, like 1 millimeter scratch on it, or anything goes awry with the bed, they replace it free.
That's not bad.
You know?
1 year?
Yeah. And it was just like a whole 1 year sleep trial, right? And then if you keep it, you get a lifetime warranty on it. There's 5 layers of memory foam.
Is it really?
There's 5 different layers. It's 11 inches thick, and it's supposed to help out for those people who have any medical conditions, any back and neck pain, shoulder pain. I'm a side sleeper. So, you know, I need more cushioning. Like I need more support because my shoulder, it goes on a foam mattress, it goes inward deep, you know? So I need the support. The problem is I've been waking up with a lot of back and shoulder pain. So, and by the way, I have a pinched nerve right now due to training. I was doing some type of stretch that I shouldn't. It's rough because it's sending a surge that goes from my shoulder down to like my forearm. So it's pretty rough. But nevertheless, the people have spoken. And by the way, I'm going to place an order tomorrow, and we're going to get to it, man. So I appreciate it, fans.
Whoa.
And
wait, don't talk about mattresses and then look at me and go, we're going to get to it.
I didn't look at you.
Okay.
No. Okay, so no. I wasn't looking at you. So I have a picture right here, my screensaver on the laptop, right? On my Dell Inspiron is actually a picture of Megan Martin. So technically speaking, I'm not looking at you right now. I'm looking at Megan Martin.
Fair enough.
So it just so happens that the camera lens is like right on top. You know what I mean? God damn it! I don't. Are you trying to say that we're in like a Billy and Chuck scenario?
What?
Oh, okay.
Are you my hetero life?
So anyway, I have been for 25 years. I mean, you know, it's a long time to be with a man. Not like I would know and shit, you know. Anyway, so yes, so fans, I am going to reward everybody here. Today we are going to take 10 questions from the fans, all right? And I've gotten a lot of hate email. I've gotten a lot of support email. A lot of the hate email is basically your militants basically telling me that I suck.
Well,
telling me that I am the weak link of this team, of this tandem, right? And that I should basically be suspended for 30 days. One guy, listen to this. One guy in the fucking Isle of Malta writes to me, right? The Isle of Malta has probably the population of 20 people. All right?
Just about.
And fucking the guy writes to me and says, you're lucky that you have a job here at the network because no other network wants you, right? And if I was Larry, I would suspend you for 30 days as like a disciplinary action.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but I'm not going to take him up on it. I'm not going to take him up on it. I actually knew
4 weeks without the Yin and The Yang.
I actually knew someone in high school. A kid in high school had family from Malta.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I wonder if it's him.
Really?
Don't start.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. So the way this is going to work, fans, is I'm going to be asked 10 questions. Larry's on the Yin and Yang podcast at gmail.com. So, yes, if you have any questions for us, comments, whatever, shout-outs, please write to us at yinandyangpodcast at gmail.com. Larry's going to pull 10 questions, not out of his ass, but he's going to pull 10 questions. I don't know what they are. I'm not looking at the email. I'm actually looking at Megan Martin right now, but that's a different story. And we are going to Larry's going to read off the questions, and then I'm going to answer them. And if it's for the both of us, we're going to discuss it, okay? So before we do so, Larry, just going to let you fans know that, we really appreciate your support, and thank you so much for all that. So, Larry, go ahead, fire away with it.
All right, so let me look here. Thank God I remembered the password to the email. So the first email here is from Jim Dayfield from Thousand Oaks, California. Jim Dayfield writes, if the USW was not sold and you continued wrestling in the company, what do you think the outcome would have been? And if it still existed today, what would it be like now?
Wow. Well, okay, so understand that when we wrestled for USW, okay, understand that was something that was from 1996 till 2001, right? But originally, the roots of it was called the ARF, and then it was called the USCW, and then to USW. Now, USW is where we made our name towards that last 2-3 years. What a lot of people don't know is that the federation itself, or the organization itself, had very poor budgeting, poor funding. It was bought out by a bigger wrestling company out in the Northwest. And the thing about it is that if we would have had some way to have survived, wow. I mean, I think that for the most part, I would say that I would have probably become babyface because I actually played my entire career as a heel.
You did? No, you actually did, yeah.
I kind of Ricky Steamboat myself. You know, like how he's never turned heel? Sure. I never turned face. I think that the direction of where I would have gone is I would have become a good guy. And
well,
I think
you did technically have that face turn in your last match.
But wait a minute. If you look at that last match, right? And I'm sorry, fans, some of you may or may not be following this because I had one fan that asked us earlier, a few episodes back, why is it that you cannot find this stuff on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. There's a major legal battle that Larry and I are still fighting over with the owner or / former promoter, which is why we don't have these videos up and running for everybody to see. So and it's been ongoing for quite some time, and we're still trying to. Actually, Larry, we need to talk to our attorneys about that later on this week because it seems as though it's kind of lacking or slacking right now.
Yeah, really haven't heard much. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, especially when we're in the state of New York, New Jersey, and the former promoter is now in California. You know?
Yeah, it gets a little hairy.
You know, so here's the thing, though. I think I would have turned face. The alternate ending was basically that I had beaten Rippo, and the company wasn't mine, but I kind of felt that it was such an injustice of what he did by selling us away, like he didn't even care, that I did specifically state, though, before the match that I don't care whether people like me or not. Kind of like I became like an anti-hero.
True. Very
and
Steve
I
Austin.
Said, listen, right. It's kind of like, if you like me, great. If you're not a fan of mine, fuck you. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Right. And by the way, it's taken about over a half an hour for me to say the word fuck this week. Just to let you know.
Not bad.
Broken record, right?
Yeah.
So new record set. And the thing about it is this. It's like, I think that I would have become face. I think that at some point I would have retired. I mean, because the travel schedule, on top of just dealing with a lot of crazy venues, the fans were great, but it was just, I mean, I think that probably another 4 or 5 years, if my body was to have allowed me that long, I would have probably retired, I think. Unless I really, really gotten a cardio conditioning coach and a strength coach and really revamped some of it. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I was still a big boy back then, but not as big as I was a couple of years back at 270. I mean, I was carrying around, 230, 240? You know what I mean? And still doing what we did.
Very true.
But then again, we were younger, lighter, and had better knees.
Yeah, very true.
What about you, man? I mean, how, you retired as, and now your career went a little longer than mine. So, I mean, how would it have gone if we went past 2001? What do you think? How would your career have gone?
It's kind of hard to say because when I left USW, I was the reigning defending Transcontinental Champion.
Thank you, Paul Heyman.
And I was the biggest free agent that there was in professional wrestling. I was getting phone calls from everybody. I was getting phone calls from WWE, from a very young Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor wanted me on their very first show, which I turned them away. Japan, CMLL, AAA, the Nova Scotia Wrestling Alliance promotion up
what
north.
What the hell? So, Nova Scotia has wrestling?
Nova Scotia Wrestling Alliance. Yeah, the NSWA. So I had my opportunity to go wherever I want, but I opted, I did everything I needed to do in this line of work. So that's when I decided to retire off and start this podcasting network. But if things would have stayed the same, my contract was coming up and I would have probably asked for more money. I think my workload would have shown...
That doesn't surprise me, just to let you know.
I think my workload would have proven that I would have deserved that money. And I think that my run could have went further along where me and you could have danced some more in our, ongoing feud after the anti-USW broke up on TV.
Well, this is what bothers me, though. I'm very surprised that as far as the indie scene was concerned, our feud in the Northeast was possibly one of the hottest. And I don't understand why is it that there wasn't any promoter that has an ounce of intelligence that would have seen that and just said, hey, listen, USW is going down. We're folding soon. Why don't we pick up your feud and let's do a build-up storyline and carry it over to where we are now, whatever indie promotion that would have been. I was just very surprised because I still felt like I could have gone. I know for a fact that you still could have gone in the ring, no problem, ready to go. I mean, absolutely. I'm just surprised nobody picked it up. I just didn't understand that. And I mean, sometimes like the worst things in the world are missed opportunities. And I think that was a huge missed opportunity on a lot of the indie promotions. Because and that's when, everybody was still on that hardcore high. Everybody was still, and we didn't do that stuff. Yeah. I mean, like it was nice, but I mean, it was cool if you were into that type of thing. But, me and you we were pretty much old school about it. Like we got in the ring, we did, what we had to do and we wrestled, that's how it went. I mean, well, okay. But before we wrap up this question, what do you think 2018, let's say right now, let's say we were both in wrestling shape and we can get in the ring and USW is still around, what do you think it would have been then?
I don't know, because I was already 5 years into my career by the time we were done with USW. Add that to another 17.
Well, same here, 5 years.
Another 17 years on top of that, probably would have just started to wind it down.
Either wind it down, or you would have been a great manager, kind of like a Paul Heyman with the gift of gab that you got.
Well, I
can certainly see you bringing up a prospect or something.
I wouldn't be like Paul Heyman. I would be the first Chris Anderson, as that was my ring name.
Okay. I mean, I just always thought that I never really wanted to use my real name in the ring, but I've always thought that I would be more at that point behind the scenes and then doing a cameo appearance just to somewhat frequently, just to make sure the fans remembered who I was and not be, thrown to the wayside. But I think that's where I would have probably been now. And then on a very rare occasion, get in the ring. But I mean, with the way that, I've been working out as of late, I think that I could still go in the ring.
Probably.
So, I mean, yeah. Okay, that was a good question. Who was that?
Jim Dayfield, Thousand Oaks,
Jim,
California.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that we have fans all the way out in the West Coast. That's cool.
All right. So next up is from West Virginia, Dennis from Wheeling, West Virginia. He writes, my girlfriends, plural. Oh, I wonder if Dennis knows that. Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Denise from Wheeling, West Virginia.
I was about to say, Dennis, whoever you are my hero,
honestly.
Man.
Unless Denise has girlfriends, and good for you. My girlfriends and I want to take up a fitness class to meet guys. Do you think this is a good idea? And if so, how would you go about doing it? I feel like we're the wrong gender to answer this.
Wow. Is there a female version of us out there in the podcasting world?
Not.
Maybe they might have answered it better, but I mean, okay.
Those would be two ugly women.
Okay, speak for yourself, all right? Hey, I'm called, Chuzilla the Ultimate Thriller for a reason, Space Mountain is a classic ride and the oldest one in the park, But here's the thing, right? I'm going to speak in terms of this as far as being in a martial arts perspective. I think that if girls are going to join a martial art class, or even if guys join up a martial art class or a fitness class just to meet girls and all that and vice versa, I think that if you want to look at it this way, I mean, what's wrong with the club and bar scene? What's wrong with a meetup? What's wrong with other venues? I mean, there are people out there who, believe it or not, this is going to sound very surprising, there are people who join gyms to work out. There are people who join martial arts to learn an art, learn a craft, learn a skill, or learn a trade. They're not there to turn it into a social scene. I remember when I was still a student in Wing Chun, I remember there was a point where some of my Kung Fu brothers turned it into a social club. And mind you, it was all guys and one girl. And I don't know who was trying to pick her up, but a lot of the guys used to just stand there and shoot the shit. And my Sifu basically looked at them and said, hey, listen, I've been letting you guys get away with this for, a few months. We're a school. We're here to learn. We're here to practice. We're here to hone our craft because we can't do this anywhere else but, here. And, is this a social club or is this a martial arts school? I mean, I personally, I'm old school like that. I kind of shun away from that. I'm generally not a fan of it. So that's just me, But I mean, if that's your intention and you want to do that and the instructor tolerates it, then, I don't get into the business of what people do in and out of places. I mean, Larry, what do you think, man?
It's, to me, when you go to those places, I've been to the gym, I've had a female trainer, and quite honestly, I was there focused to get in shape. And honestly, I mean, look, I'm a red-blooded male, so I would look, but when push comes to shove, I was there for me. So I think that may not be the best place to find. I think you're right. Maybe do something afterwards. Maybe if you meet someone there, say, hey, let's meet up afterwards.
Right. Yes.
And do that. So.
Right. In other words, don't interfere with the class itself.
Yep.
There you go. That's the bottom line, because we said so.
Next question from Jesse. They write, what do you think about Fox and its recent acquisition of SmackDown Live for $1 billion?
Okay, I know you're the expert on this one, but explain this one to me. This is my only question about this. How the fuck did Fox spend $1 billion and get the B show? Yet USA has the A show.
Well, for USA, Raw it's always been its baby, except for those 5 years or so, moved to TNN and eventually Spike. But USA, the numbers for Raw are better than SmackDown Live, to be honest. And I think just probably, USA felt, let them focus on Raw. And, Vince would be stupid to turn down $1 billion. Now, it's $1 billion over 5 years. So, which means SmackDown Live would move to Fox. But here's the other thing, because Disney bought Fox. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily just the movie part of it, if it's a TV part of it. Maybe SmackDown moves to Fox Sports, not necessarily like Channel 5 here in the tri-state area. There's still more to it, because this doesn't happen. The move doesn't happen until October of 2019. So there's still more to come out with this. But basically, I think just Fox, sees the potential of having wrestling back on Fox. WWE used to be on Fox the last few, before the new era Saturday night's main events. Those last few main events were on Fox 5 or wherever it was, Fox in your area. So Fox is no stranger to the WWE. Growing up, we had, Superstars and Wrestling Challenge was on Fox 5 at 12 noon, Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, my only concern about this is that now, okay, will Fox just allow WWE to say, hey, listen, this is, your baby now, you have full creative control, or are you going to now have the suits in Fox? Because we all know the way that you kill the wrestling business, the main ingredient is just to add suits. Do you think Fox is going to interfere with this?
No.
And then do you think that they're going to think that they have the strategy of how to make it the A show and then turn Raw into the B show? Or do you think that because they have to have a reason to give WWE $1 billion in 5 years, they have to have a plan, no?
Revenue.
Or
they expect the revenue to come in. I'm sure they'll probably get a cut. Well, they'll get a cut of the advertisements. I don't know if broadcasting, like the ticket sales, I don't know if a percentage of that goes to the broadcast, like whoever's going to be broadcasting the show. I'm not sure. I highly doubt they'll have much input on the show other than just, you can't do that on TV. You can't say that. I think USA Network doesn't really step in the way of that for Raw Now or SmackDown Live. And personally, I like SmackDown better than Raw Now. So to me, SmackDown's the A show, not Raw.
Even with your girl Bliss on Raw?
Even with Alexa Bliss, the goddess of WWE. But that's okay, because I have Carmella, and Mella is money on SmackDown Live.
The only reason why, like, let's say I watch NXT is because of Kairi Sane. If it was not for, she is, oh my God, she is fine. But that's the only reason why I would watch NXT. It's just for her. Because everybody that I like is now in the main roster, with the exception of her. You know what I mean? And I just find like the both shows are good, but I am, like you, I'm a big fan of SmackDown. I think that that's the better show of the two, but that's just me. I hope that Vince knows what he's doing and he's not just doing it for the money. You know what I mean? Because
the
moving
money helps, but
of course, the money helps in any situation. But like the song once said, "More money, more problems." I just hope it doesn't create a problem, and it doesn't interfere within the WWE universe. That's all I'm asking.
Listen, there was really no change from SmackDown when it was originally on UPN, and then it moved to Sci-Fi, and then moving from Sci-Fi to USA. It's just a matter of where it's being broadcast. That's all. A lot of shows switch networks. Brooklyn Nine-Nine got canceled by NBC. No, excuse me, got canceled by Fox. Is moving to NBC. So it happens.
Good point.
All right. So thank you, Jesse. Up next, Nicole from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Speaking of Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, right. Nicole wants to know, have you ever had poutine? And if not, would you like to try it? I think that's a personal question, quite frankly. I mean, I love women, but I think to ask whether or not I've had poutine, I think is just a little on the nose.
Larry?
Yeah?
Larry? First of all, it's not poutine, and it ain't poontang. She's asking about poutine. Do you know what that is?
Well, there's other words for it. I don't know if women like to have
Okay, it's not pussy, all right?
Wow.
Do you want me to just say it out like that? It is not pussy. Listen, if VH1 can say the word pussy, so can I, okay?
Holy
poutine.
cow.
Do you know what poutine is?
I guess I'm about to find out.
Okay, so basically poutine is a Canada thing. More so, I don't even know if it's a national thing, but dude, let's put it like this. Poutine is basically French fries, all right, with cheese on top. I don't know if it's melted or not. And then there's gravy.
Ooh. You know what?
And
wow.
Oh my God, is it fucking good.
I hate to say, you lost me at gravy.
Dude, bro, it sounds weird, but trust me when I tell you, if you ever venture outside the United States and you go to Canada, you got to try poutine. It is just, first of all, it's fries, for Christ's sake. Who could say no to fries,
They're
right?
couch fries.
These are French fries on top of cheese, and then I believe there's gravy in there, and the gravy is good. Like,
I mean, I'm not a fan of gravy, but
trust me, it is amazing. You got to try it at least at some point, or if there's a place in the city that makes poutine, you got to try it once.
All right, we'll see what's up.
Amazing. That is when you want to fat ass it up. That's a great meal.
Well, I know how to fat asses up, so.
Oh yes, good. Absolutely.
All right, so we'll give that a shot. Number 6 here, question number 5. I'm sorry, I lost count. Jerry from Sparta, New Jersey, writes,
Garden Stater?
What is your opinion on obstacle courses such as the Tough Mudder and Spartan Race?
Oh, God. Okay. Listen, this is a good question. I've never been asked this before. If you're talking, I've always thought that these competitions are basically done for one of 3 reasons. All right. Either one, you want to hang out with the boys, you want to mix it up with some girls, or your girlfriends basically don't have jack shit to do this week, and you basically just want to fucking do these courses just as a social network hanging out type of thing, right? And then afterwards, we all go drink beers, we all go fucking, and I mean, do you know what these things are, Larry?
Yeah, I've seen them. They're okay. What they are. They're obstacle courses.
Yeah, basically they're like these.
Those look like military.
Right, like you get in the mud, you crawl under shit, you crawl over shit. You basically complete you run over a fucking you run up and over a wall. I mean, shit like that. Look, I've always thought that these things were created or they were sponsored or invested by a bunch of fucking Wall Street geeks who probably have never ever scored in their life, probably have never fucking done anything athletic in their life, and just sat in the office one day and went, I have about $500,000 to spare. How about we try to invest in something cool? And then the other guy just goes, yeah. Let's just let's just invest in something that looks kind of manly, and then, we can try to say that we invented something like Spartan Race or like a Tough Mudder and blah, blah, blah. And then it'll just make us look cool, right?
When did Beavis and Butthead become CEOs.
I was more of like a Steve Urkel thing.
Oh, okay.
Right. Anyway, so basically, I just think that I've always originally thought that it was made by a bunch of geeks who never done anything athletic in their life and they just want to prove themselves. So, and I found that that's not true. I found that it was created, I believe it was by athletes. And I mean, if you want to do something like that, that's great. I'm not really personally a fan of it. I don't feel like I need to prove anything to anybody. I don't need to prove my fitness level to anybody but myself. And of course, the ladies out there, Megan Martin. Anyway, so quite frankly, the second type of person who would do this is basically people who just want something to put on their Instagram. Somebody wants to do something on Facebook Live. Somebody wants to put some social media show up saying, hey, look at how cool I am and what kind of a semi-charm kind of life I live and, and all that. And the third type of person, to me, who does this is just people who, are influenced by their friends and say, hey, listen, hey, what are you doing next couple of weeks? Oh, nothing? Okay, well, hey, we're doing a Tough Mudder. We're doing a Spartan race, and why don't you go out there? Look, I'm not saying that this physical stuff is bad for you. I'm not saying I hate it or I don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea. You're not going to find me going out into doing this type of thing. I just don't feel like there's a need for it. But I know friends who do it, and they love it, and they go out drinking, and they go out eating, and they go out having a great time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just becoming an old antisocial prick. I mean, with the way that I'm going, like I said to you in the better half, 20, 25 years from now, I'm probably going to be training some bullied white kid in a karate tournament. All right? So, but anyway.
Okay.
Thank you for that question. What is the next one?
Okay. What a wonderful name here. Lawrence from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Brother Lawrence.
He writes in, hi guys, I'm a 15-year-old and I'm being bullied in school. If you had to learn a martial arts, what would you suggest me to learn at this point, and how do I go about stopping a bully? There are 3 guys who are part of a clique who are trying to bully me because I am considered uncool. Please help. Oof. Please help part. We may have to talk to your teachers.
This ain't good. I hate hearing cases like this. This bothers me because it brings me flashbacks to when I was bullied. And I mean, but I understand that being bullied back then is very different from being bullied now. I mean, back in the day, when we grew up, Larry, I mean, it was just you didn't like somebody, you were being bullied, you basically took it, or you went up to them and you fucking clocked them. And then either afterwards they gained respect, or you got your ass kicked. It's one of the two things. And then I remember there's a friend of mine. I was being bullied. I remember this kid. He was bullying me, and one of my elementary school friends, he went up and just cold clocked this kid and just knocked him the fuck out. And, and I mean, he became my best friend, man. I mean, until he moved to, was it Chicago or Michigan or something like that? Man, listen, bud, it's tough, because now you got social media. It's not just kept within a certain place or certain space or a school. Now it can reach out to anybody everywhere. Here's the thing. The best piece of advice I can give you, it doesn't matter what martial art you learn. It doesn't matter what combative sport you learn. It doesn't matter. It's how you use it and how you're being taught. Your fighting should be the last option that you should have. I mean, if I were you, it's just going to sound like, this is going to sound, what I'm about to say is going to sound like, Anthony and Larry are just not cool. They're telling me to basically use passive resistance. But it's what Larry said. Talk to your parents. If you don't have parents, talk to your legal guardian. Talk to your legal guardian, an adult. If that doesn't work, talk to a teacher, talk to a guidance counselor, talk to the school. And if that doesn't work, try your best not to fight. And I mean, unless you really are training, it doesn't matter what you're training in. What I do suggest is that if you are going to train in any art, not all martial arts is created equal, and I believe that now, and I say to you, train diligently and only use it if you're confident in it, in your skill set. Don't, learn about a week or two or a month and say, hey, I'm ready to whip his ass. This, and by the way, this whole entire Cobra Kai strike first, strike hard, no mercy thing is the wrong way to go about it. You don't want to strike first because there's something called legalities. There's school policies. You're going to look like what they call in the law enforcement world a primary aggressor. So, buddy, do me a favor. Send us a private message. Give me some details. If you want to talk to us over the phone, talk to me over the phone, I'll be more than glad to give you my number. We'll talk and try to help you resolve this thing, man. Because I hate seeing situations like this. It bothers me. Or if you want me to talk to your parents or something like actually, let me talk to your parents if you want. I'll have them send me a message and I'll write you back or we'll talk on the phone or whatever, as a group, and then we'll see how we can resolve this because I just don't like seeing people bullied, man. Been bullied my whole life. In fact, right now, what's this kid's name? I'm sorry.
Lawrence.
Lawrence? Shit, I'm being bullied by this guy, Lawrence, right now that's in front of me.
What are you talking about?
I do my best to see. I stand up for myself.
What?
I have a backbone. I stand up for myself.
How about you shut the fuck up or else I'm going to come over there and punch you straight in the face.
Whoa. We have a teenage kid listening to this. What kind of an influence are you? My God, man.
See, and that's how you fight back to a bully. And this has been a reenactment brought to you by the Yin and the Yang podcast.
Oh God, kids, do not try this at home, please. All right, let's just move on, man.
Next question, Jasmina from La Crosse, Wisconsin. She says, actually, just mentioning about Cobra Kai Dojo, I'm a very big fan of the Karate Kid series.
Wow, what a segue.
After binge watching the Cobra Kai series, I decided to watch all 4 movies. Surprised she didn't say 5. In your opinion, what do you think about a fight between Chosen and Johnny Lawrence? I'd like to see a fight with Joey Lawrence.
Whoa. Chosen wins. Flawless victory. Fatality. Babality. Fucking animality.
Who would win between Chosen and Johnny Lawrence?
Wow.
No, it's whoa.
Oh, whoa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, your Blossom reference is correct.
Sorry. Yeah. You actually watched Blossom?
I may have. Hey, 6 was hot.
Oh, my God. All right. Anyway, who would have won if Johnny Lawrence fought Chosen? Okay. If we're talking about martial arts standards, okay, they both have killer instincts. They're both taught to strike first, strike hard with no mercy. Mm-hmm. Here's where the difference lies, okay? Number one, there's 2 differences here. And I'll explain to you why I say what I say. Chosen is a rooted karate guy that learned Miyagi-Do karate from Mr. Miyagi's father. The thing about it is that he's learning from his uncle Sato, which is his number one. Chosen is Sato's number 1 student. Sato is actually a descendant of that source, and so is he. Now, here's the thing. Because of his karate is more authentic, right? Johnny Lawrence's karate comes from many different sources that trickle down from Kreese to him. So it's not as authentic. Now, I'm not trying to say that whether authenticity dominates non-authenticity or vice versa. Here's where the difference lies. Johnny Lawrence is trained, okay? He's a bully. So he's always the aggressor. But the difference is that Johnny Lawrence's karate is used for competition point purposes. So once you hit a guy, you stop and you gain the point. Chosen is not a point fighter. He fights for real. He's a street fighter, basically. So his mentality is to basically maim or kill you, pretty much, or whatever the case is. So he did say to Daniel at one scene where he said, if you do this, insult my honor again, I kill you, which basically means he's not concerned about life or death. The second thing is that if you look at the end of Karate Kid 2, before Daniel fights Chozen, Miyagi says to him, Daniel-san, this is not for points. This is for life. So which basically gives Chozen the advantage because he's a real fighter. You know, he doesn't do this for competition points. Mm-hmm. That's what I think, man. I mean, okay. Do you have a different point of view on this one?
You know, not because I really haven't seen all 4 movies and I haven't watched the show yet. So I'm gonna go what you say.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I'm a little out of that one.
Okay.
All right, what do we got here? Oh, this one just came in. Holy cow. What timing? Jay Wong from Queens writes, I've been practicing martial arts for nearly 8 years now, and he's 24 years old.
Okay.
I'm taking up the art of, Hung Gar.
Yes, that's exactly it. Okay.
Which is a Southern Chinese martial arts that has multiple weapons. I really believe that weapons and the learning of weapons is absolutely useless in this world today. What is your opinion on this? And if I was to learn a weapon, what would the best one for today's world? If I can start this one.
Go ahead, please.
And trust me, I have no martial arts whatsoever background. I am pretty good with a pair of chucks. You know, I can chuck like the best of them.
Really?
Yes.
Holy crap, what?
You know, I can spin it on my finger and stuff like that, you know, do a little, around the world. But I,
Wait a second. Where is this? Wait a minute. Stop right there. You listening? Man goes into a restaurant, right? You listening? No, I'm sorry. Wrong speech. Go ahead.
I feel that, yes, I get that a lot of martial arts is more defensive than offensive, but I think, weaponry, especially in the practice and in the art, and if you just watch martial arts just for the art of it, seeing some of them like whipping around like for real, like whipping around the sticks and the swords and doing these beautiful movements with weapons, I think that's a great thing to study. Almost like an instrument.
Really?
I do. And plus, you can kick the shit out of somebody.
But I think that, Larry, I agree with you. I think weapons are part of classical traditional arts, especially Asian martial arts. I think that there's not one type of martial art that doesn't have a weapon set. Mm-hmm. Here's what the problem is. We don't live in the Tang Dynasty. We don't live in the Shogun Edo period. We don't live in the Hwarang warrior period of like Korea. We live in 2018. Who the fuck is going to carry a fucking broadsword down the street walking along with it? Who's going to carry a samurai sword? And I can understand where Jay is coming from because he feels that there's no practicality with it. Is that the right word? I guess you could say. All right. I mean, nobody's going to carry a fucking set of like Krabi Krabang, dual tie swords, walking down the street. Which unless you live in the state of New Hampshire, where it is legal to carry a samurai sword on your back walking down the street, as long as you don't. Now, here's the irony: you can't take the sword out.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, you can carry it, but you cannot take the sword out of its sheath because then basically it's used as a primary aggressive weapon. Go figure.
But when you say even just you see the demonstrations. That's what the word I'm looking for. Just the demonstration of throwing around these weapons. Plus, and again, I'm not trying to be funny, but you practice with a sword, you practice with a bow, actual striking. Look, if things start going down, grab a broomstick. Maybe you can turn that into something. Or maybe you can, like, improvise if you had to. Like, if you were in a kitchen or some, Jackie Chan movie.
What? That's a Jackie Chan. I'm sorry, but practically 95% of what Jackie Chan does in movies does not work in real life. Okay? I'm sorry. I am not going to jump down. I'm not going to fucking jump off a fucking building and survive.
Hey, you never know.
All right? I am not going to look at a 90-degree wall and scale up it. All right? So, okay, but now, Jay, let me also say this, and not to make too big of a deal of it or to get too deep into this question, but also understand, Jay, that weapons are an extension of one's art, an extension of one's personality. Weapons can also be used to teach coordination, focus, a multitude of, reaction time, as well as the discipline and a lot of focus and coordination, I should say. So don't discount it because it is there for a reason. Hung Gar is a complete art that has many, many different skill sets, and I have a great respect for it. So it has empty weapon hand forms. It has dual person sets and drills. It has weapon sets. It has training tools. Utilize it. It is part of the art. And if you ever would decide to one day teach it, if you don't focus on it, you can't basically say that you teach a complete art if you don't learn it. So take it seriously. Sometimes things on the surface are not always what they seem. So just keep that in mind, Jay. Good luck with that. I hope that you'll see through that tunnel,
Okay. Good stuff.
All right.
So next up, we got two more left here, it looks like. Next question, Scott Anderson from Seattle, Washington.
Any relation to Chris Anderson?
Probably not if he's from Seattle.
Arn Anderson?
Maybe.
Okay, I see.
God help us. Can you do a top 5 signs of a bad martial arts instructor or school?
Oh my God, a top 5 sign. Let's see. Okay. I was trying to say something funny about this, but I was just going to say, if you see a school that states Cobra Kai Karate, run. No, that's a bad joke. Okay.
And the number one answer,
yeah,
Buttafuoco.
Great. So the first thing I would say, I don't know if I can come up with 5. I would say to you, number one, if you are looking for a martial arts school, and let's just say the instructor or instructors cannot trace their lineage and prove it, I wouldn't even go. You have to be able to trace their lineage and know exactly what branch, what line are you learning from. Because if basically, and this is a funny term, if you're going to go to a school that has a smoothie lineage, have you ever heard of this, Larry? A smoothie lineage?
No.
So a smoothie is basically a bunch of shit put together in one, and they whip it up, and they consider it something brand new, right? Mm-hmm. So a smoothie lineage is basically people who take something from some arts here, a couple of techniques from some arts here, maybe a weapon set from one art here, and they just whip it up, and they call it their own system. That's a smoothie lineage. You don't want that. That I would say that's the second thing. Is that you beware of what you're learning. Mm-hmm. That's very important. The third thing I would say to you is if you have a school that keeps driving the point of price, they can't tell you the prices over the phone, and they come in, they force you to come down to the school, and they just, and you're undecided in signing up, and they just basically keep pressuring you. Something's not right. If the school is that good, you should be able to make that decision confidently on your own, all right? And I don't even think that students should be locked into a contract. I just think that that's a business marketing ploy. Mm-hmm. Because then now, if let's say the realities of life happen, let's say you lose your job, let's say you don't have the financial, let's say you have a kid, and let's say you have a newborn baby. and you can't, let's say whatever, and you need the money, and now you're locked in for another, 9 months, 8 months. Some schools do 2 years, 5 years. That's insanity.
Oof.
Why? No, absolutely not. If I'm a good instructor, I should be earning your business, not the other way around. I shouldn't be forcing you, I would say another thing would be that a bad instructor or a bad school will pretty much it's really a lot of how the instructor carries themselves. If the instructor curses in the school, if he gets angry very quickly, that's not good. You don't want someone who has a lack of discipline. Mm-hmm. Then a lot of people will look at me and say, well, yeah, but wait a minute. You curse on this podcast. How could you go preach that? Yeah, but then, your students are going to find the podcast. No, you got to understand something here, okay? What we do is within the realm of the podcast. This is not a show that should be listened to by kids anyway. Yeah. All right? And quite frankly, when you're in the dojo, carry yourself accordingly, respectfully, because your students are a reflection of you. And I would say, other than that, you don't want to be locked into something that you don't enjoy. I would say that if the teacher feels like he's forcing you to learn something and basically you're not happy with it. Like, in other words, what I'm saying is that if you're told that you're coming into this class and if you're being yelled at, and oh, you suck, you can't do this, come on, let's go, blah blah. That's not how you want to, you should be there to learn. It's just not, you didn't sign up for Paris Island. Mm-hmm. It's just not, you didn't sign up for the military. If you're in the military, that's a different story. But, you signed up to, pretty much learn a skill, learn a discipline. And it should be taught, not yelled at and forcing you to do something that you can't do just yet, So, look, it took me, a year to do pull-ups. So, my coach didn't yell at me on the first day and say, hey, you must do 10 pull-ups. No, he built me up. That's the right way to do it. So there you go. Okay. There's your answer.
Yeah, that's a good one, my friend. Good stuff.
Thank you.
And finally, we have our final question here. Michelle Sanders from Denver, Colorado. She writes, Anthony, what is your obsession liking for American Ninja Warrior Megan Martin?
Oh my God. A fan actually asked me this question.
I do have a question too, because I think it's bordering
Hey. Wait a minute. What? Bordering what legality?
I didn't say
that. Did I just hear the word legality?
Nope. All
right. Okay, first of all, I don't have an obsession for Megan Martin, okay? Okay, maybe in a way I do. Oh my God, I don't even know how to describe this one. Oh my Lord. Let's put it this way, okay? The best way I can put it is simply this. I love athletic women. I love athletic women. It's just there's something about it that I find so amazing. I like women athletes. I just like the way that they're put together. Mm-hmm. I like a female who's involved in sports, involved in to me, okay, I'll give you an example. Like Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie, mm-hmm. Who's an MMA fighter in the UFC. I find she's absolutely stunning. I like I think Ali Raisman is beautiful. She's a gymnast. She's very I just like that athletic quote unquote look.
Okay.
Now what appeals to me about Megan Martin is that I follow her on Instagram and on Facebook, and I've commented several times, and yes, she's actually written back to me.
Has she really?
No, she hadn't written back to me. She liked my comments and
Fair
stuff
enough.
like that. All right. And I even did a video last year asking her to go out with me after I challenged her to rock climbing. Even though I know that I'm more than likely 99.99% going to lose, I just want to show her the fact that I have heart. And I just, I like the way that she treats other people. One thing that really turns me on about a woman is how she treats others, whether it be her family, her friends, people that she doesn't know. If you can have a good heart and you help people, that's a huge turn on for me, because I teach my martial arts students. I teach them because I want them to. I think that's podcast one, by the way. That just gave me a message.
I
but that's
hope
a different
not,
story.
because you're on the contract, my friend.
15 more episodes. Now, as I was rudely interrupted, I just find that, she teaches kids, so we have something in common. She's an athlete. I'm a martial artist. She comes from a very good rooted family. I come from a very rooted family. She's just absolutely beautiful to me. I mean, like, she is amazingly beautiful to me. Like, and that's not even the main reason, And I think that I'm a pretty damn handsome looking panda / man, and / Chuzilla, the ultimate thriller. And at the same time, she just has a beautiful personality about herself, and I'm sure she's a really cool chick. She seems very open and friendly to the world. She's not antisocial or anything like that. And I just think that if I ever had the opportunity, and I swear to God, if anybody's listening to this, if you know Megan Martin, if whatever, okay? If I ever had one opportunity and I ever got to meet her, this is the way it's going to go. I'm not going to introduce myself or carry on as some type of a fanboy or say, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." No. This is the way it would go. I would thank her for her inspiration, tell her that she's amazing, and she's always taught people to dream big. Well, I'm going to dream big right now, and I'm going to ask her out on a date. Megan, Miss Martin, if you're listening to this, Megan Martin, okay, and you are listening to this, and somehow, some way, my words travel across to Colorado or wherever you are in this world, I, the former two-time USW heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Chu, and lifelong martial artist, would like to know if you would please give me the honor and allow me to be humbled by having me take you out on a date. I don't care where. I don't care when. I don't care where you are in this world, where you are in the United States. I will come to you. We will do whatever you want. We will go have fun. I will also say to you that if you want to bring a chaperone, fine. Hey, listen,
Can I be the chaperone?
Absolutely not. You would make me look stupid so that you would look good. Absolutely not. And the thing is, women have to be careful nowadays, man. You never know who's out there,
So you're pretty much saying...
I'm pretty much a good man, okay? I am a good man. That I am the kind of guy...
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Bam, bam, you're going to get slammed.
Okay, oh,
what
God.
What a man, what a man.
Stop,
LT is a mighty good man.
Jeremiah,
what a man.
Thank you. So, thank you, Jeremiah. Appreciate it. So, here's the thing, all right? You bring a chaperone, but I don't care. I'll pay for their dinner as well, all right? I just want to be in the same air, in the same space, in the same aura as you. That's all I ask. I'm a very simple guy. I don't ask for a whole lot. I just ask for life and health from the good Lord above. And I ask that my friends and family, even Larry, that, they're all right. And that's all I ask for. And everything else I will take care of. But for once, I would like to dream big and ask of you to go out with me. Simple as that. All right. Jeremiah, now that I'm done, please unmute his mic. All right, fans. So thank you for the questions. I really hope that everybody enjoyed these questions. These were really, really good ones. So thank you to everybody who sent them in. And once again, if you'd like to send anything here, please send us anything you want to yinandyangpodcast at gmail.com. And even if the Nigerian government wants to give us $3 million, I'm sure Larry will gladly accept the check.
Every time.
Exactly. So, he'll run it through his law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. and we will be more than glad to spend your money. Thank you very much. So, are you ready, Larry? This is your favorite segment of the week.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Now, thank you, Carlito. Now, Larry, the best way for me to describe this week's victim of chewed out is quite simply, it's in the form of a fat, ugly piece of fucking human, if you want to call her human, shit. All right? So there's a video on a site, like a news media short site called Now This, and it's a picture of a lady who is obviously not Asian at all. She sounds like she's Hispanic. I don't know what she is, but she does sound like that with her accent. And there was the point is that there was a U.S. Air Force veteran by the name of James Ahn, A-H-N, Ahn, who I believe is Korean American. And he was driving in Fremont. I'm guessing that's California, right? And
who knows?
All right, so I'm going to assume that it's California. I think it is. And he was driving, I believe, with his wife or his girlfriend, whose name is Mi-Sung Lee. And he was driving, from what he stated, slowly, maybe a little too slow for this lady behind him. And she cut him off. And when she had an opportunity, she rolls down her window and says, go back to your country. Get the fuck out of my country. This is my country. And she does this thing with her two index fingers, and she does this slanted-eyed, racist, gesture. Mm-hmm. And it seems as though, these two Korean Americans are basically just standing there and fucking taking it. And and literally, it's, I just don't understand why they didn't fire back. They didn't say anything. They just basically stood there and took it. And I think at one point she says, I'm not Chinese. And so this lady, I'm guessing, is one of those people, one of those racist assholes who thinks that all Asians are Chinese people, right? Because maybe we're the most common Asian ethnicity or nationality. I have no idea. Here's the deal, right? If you look at this lady, she's saying, fucking Chinese, you're ugly, right? Go back to your own country. And she's basically saying, fuck you, fucking Chinese, and all that. So this Air Force veteran, Mr. Ahn, wants to file a hate crime against this woman, and his Facebook account was suspended when he put up this video. Now
his was suspended.
Right, his was suspended when he uploaded this video.
Facebook is terrible.
Now, how the fuck is it that I see ghetto street fights? I see fucking kids doing vandalism. I see all this shit going on, and they don't suspend their accounts. I see people putting up Facebook Live posts of them smoking weed. Nothing's done about that. So this poor Korean American Air Force veteran puts up a video of blatant racism. He's not in the wrong, and they fucking suspend his account? What kind of shit is this? Now, Facebook is not the chewed out victim this week. Who is the chewed out victim is basically the authorities of Fremont and this fat, ugly fucking bitch that basically did this racist gesture because technically speaking, she was saying that to Chinese people, let alone in her limited-minded fucking highfalutin brain. She couldn't understand that they were Korean because in her mind, she probably thinks that they all look alike. We all look alike, right? And it's fucking 2018, and she can get away with that. She's lucky that this was not an African American driver who was the victim. They would have fucking gotten out and beaten the fucking shit out of her. By the time they punched her out, she would have been bleeding gravy, not blood. All right, you fucking dumb bitch. You fucking ugly fat dumb bitch. I swear to God, it is 2018. And we still have blatant shit like this. And the reality of it is that, and here's the irony, Larry. The irony of it is this. I don't know if she's Latino or not. Okay? She's talking about how this is her country. She hates Chinese people. I'm guessing she hates Asians altogether. She's driving a Nissan. You fucking bumbling you bumbling moron. You kidding me? You hate Asians and yet you're driving a fucking Japanese vehicle. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It was a Nissan or fucking some type of an Asian vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, just grand. Way to be a hypocrite, right? So, you know what, lady? Fuck you. Fuck you and the 6 horses you rode in on, all right? She looks like she has permanent stink face, and I think I've said it before to somebody. What they should do with her face is take a photo of her, put it in all the maximum security prison cells, and that way we've found a cure for sex offenders, all right? Because after they look at her mug, they'll never commit that offense ever again. You bitch, I fucking hate you. I hope St. Prick gets you this year, you fucking bitch. All right? And as far as I'm concerned, all right, fuck you. Fuck anybody who likes you. Fuck anybody who agrees with you. Fuck anybody who wants to be like you. And fuck anybody who's on your fucking side. And you know what? Lastly, to put the cream of the crop on this, just to put the little cherry on top, I have a question for you. I don't know what your name is. I don't know where the hell you are, but I see your fat, ugly face. I'm lucky that my laptop and my phone screen didn't just break from the ugliness that just transmitted through the fucking wiring. But I do have a question for you. All right? Do you know what happens when sick, racist pieces of shit, you bumbling sack of snake feces, you know what happens when you make gestures and racist remarks and you're adding to the problem that we are and the problems that we already have in this country amongst racial tensions and all this other shit that's going on, huh? You know what happens?
Hit him with it, Chew.
You stink-faced bitch. You hatchet-faced looking cunt. You've just been chewed out.
Yes. Oh, love it. Love it.
Fuck you. Sickening shit.
Hot damn.
And I didn't mean to use that word, but that's exactly what she is.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And that's a rare thing for me, ladies and gentlemen. Do apologize about that.
That's all right.
Sickening that this racism. Fuck racism. Fuck anybody who actually believes in using it. Fuck anybody who believes in it and supports it. Kiss my ass.
Oh man.
Oh,
I don't blame you. That and I don't think she was Spanish. I think she was trying to do an Asian accent. Like a stereotypical Asian accent.
I don't know what she looks it, okay? I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm a hypocrite, but her accent kind of sounds like that. Maybe she wasn't, and if she was not, I apologize, but
well, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't talking normal.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But she did have an accent. I'm kind of wondering where the accent came from. It's like you're an immigrant yourself, you moron. It's your country too, and it's my country too. You're fucking talking about this is your country. Go back to where you came from. Well, fuck you. You go back to where you came from, and hopefully there's a fucking cave there, or there are very tall suspension bridges there. Tie a fucking brick to your fat fucking ankle with a rope and jump off of it, and relieve the world of the sickness and the ugliness in and out that you possess, bitch.
Oh man.
You know, Larry, I wish I had a Sweetwater IPA right now. Because I need a nice cold one.
Crack one open for the working man?
I don't even drink.
Oh,
Go freaking figure.
Let's end this one on a high note, though, shall we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what's going on in the other 16,000 shows that you have on the More of the Same network here?
Well, this past Wednesday, from when this episode drops, the Better Half has celebrated its 1-year anniversary. 1 year of episodes. We were actually live on Facebook. Hopefully it went well because I'm recording this episode before we did the live show. So,
oh wow, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. On the Retro Gamers, Anthony is actually gone for the next 3 weeks, so I'm going to be having guest hosts.
Well, thank you, Larry. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, you are not one of the guest hosts, or at least you're not this week.
Why? What do you mean?
Because I'm trying to get new people on the show.
But Larry, I'm your best friend. I mean, I thought that.
I'm aware but I'm getting new people on the show. So Josh and Brandon have hosted this week on the Retro Gamers.
Wait a minute, what?
And so
they're
it was
not even part of the network.
It was a nice crossover with the PS Midnight Cast, and we talked about Double Dragon the movie.
What's up, Brandon?
We talked Double Dragon the movie. We talked favorite games from the 90s and 2000s. So it was a good time.
Anything else happening on the other shows?
No, not really. And then in my personal life, I slept about 15 hours the other day, so that was good.
Well, lucky freaking you. Unbelievable. All right. Well, okay. So the Just When You Thought We Were Out, They Pull Us Back In tour continues on a high note. The next public appearance that your boy will be appearing in, this Sunday coming, June 3rd, I will be in Rockefeller Center. I will be atop of the NBC studios, and I will attend personally a CEO's wedding. I've already picked up that suit that I talked to you folks about last week, where I gave Men's Warehouse. Joe gave a fine plug to Old School Tailor, Old School Barber, Old School whatever. They're the best. Nothing can ever cover and beat a classic. This man has been fitting suits and taking care of things for me, and I just want to give the man all the credit in the world. He's going to make Chuzilla look good. Going to attend this wedding for a CEO friend of mine. See, Larry, I have friends in high places too, right?
I got friends in low places.
Cut that out. Anyway, so now, the next appearance for me, I'm still trying to work preferably on June 9th. I'm stuck in a crossfire between either going to the Legends of the Ring in Monroe, New Jersey, or appearing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the 40th anniversary of Dawn of the Dead. The problem that I have is a hotel and airfare will cost me about $500 for overnight, and that's not cheap. While the Legends of the Ring is only $20, and it's like about a few exits away from my house. But I will be sure that if I do go, I will get you an autograph of Brandy Rhodes.
Thank you.
And I will take a picture of her legs.
No,
anyway, so no, for me, not for you.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Now, and of course, a picture with me and her. All right. Yes, and I am also going there to see Johnny Rods and Mario Mancini.
Really? Johnny Rods.
Said no one.
Oh.
Anyway, so anyhow, those are my dates. What are your dates, Larry?
I got nothing coming up too much. I got we're going to be getting together for the UFC fight with CM Punk. And then I'm going to be at the MSG House Show July 7th, which actually, by the way, I do have an extra ticket, so we can talk afterwards. It's a single seat, nowhere near where I'm sitting, but I still have a ticket available. And then I got SummerSlam coming, probably in the cheap seats at the Garden.
Okay.
And because I'm going to be on the floor. And also, I got SummerSlam coming up, Survivor Series coming up, so I got some good things happening.
All right. That sounds good. And then, yes, I've just found out that somewhere in the month of October, I will be visiting 3 nations on a cruise with the fam.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to, I believe this is called Labadee, Haiti, which is a private island, not within the city itself or within the capital, but it's a private island. Cozumel, Mexico, and I believe there's one other destination I'm forgetting, but it's in the I'm going on the Anthem of the Seas, which is supposed to be one of the largest cruise ships in the world right now. I think it's like it hits like top 5 or something.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be good. I cannot wait for them to do the next American Ninja Tour, American Ninja Warrior Tour. Because then that way I can go and give a ring to Megan Martin. But that's a different story. And yes, I will ask her out. I'm trying to dream big here, okay?
Do it.
And other than that, I guess we've depleted the resources this week, Larry.
This week we have, absolutely.
All right. Now, I was going to introduce a brand new segment, but this I think we just, for time constraint reasons, we'll introduce it next week. And why don't we do that? All right. And I know Larry has a meeting. He's going to play golf with the chief of police Hopefully, I can get my goddamn restraining order taken off of me, and I can step back into. Larry, you want to do this before June 9th, so that way we can actually, come see. I can come see UFC at your house and the fucking 90-inch TV that you have in your house. I also want to drink some.
No. It's not
some of that limited edition Southern Comfort.
It's not a 90-inch television. The UFC fight will be at the Manor. So I already have.
I'm sorry. What?
I have they're constructing the octagon as we speak. I have the dressing rooms are already all set up, and so we're gonna we can have a personal view of the fights.
Wow, I am very, very impressed, Larry. Very impressed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that about wraps it up for this week. On behalf of my co-host, the production team in the back, we just want to say thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you, fans, commandos, militants, for coming through and to the call of action. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, please take care of yourselves, eat right, work out. Your body is your temple. Be good to one another. Use your left and right turn indicators. Be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. And you can't teach that.
Wait, stop right there. Listen, stop right there a minute. Man goes into a restaurant. You listening? A man goes into a restaurant, he sits down, he's having a bowl of soup. He says to the waiter, come, taste the soup. The waiter says, is there something wrong with the soup? He says, taste the soup. He says, is there something wrong with the soup? Is the soup too hot? He says, will you taste the soup? It's wrong. Is the soup too cold? Will you just taste the soup? All right, I'll taste the soup. Where's the spoon? Aha. Aha. What do you know from funny, you bastard?
Peace!
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around.